Okay, everyone. I suggest we get started and welcome to the webinar on feature releases to deliver more and grow faster. We are so excited to have you here. But before we begin, a few housekeeping things. My name is Daria. I'm the product marketing manager and I'm your host today. And to start it off, please, I ask you kindly to have your mics off while the speakers are presenting. You will have a chance to unmute yourself or turn on your camera in the end of the meeting to ask any questions or anything that you might have. Use the chat in this meeting chat to share your thoughts, drop your questions or anything if you want to interact and have this meeting lively, basically. We are recording and we will be sharing the recording in the end of the meeting with all the materials that we covered today, the presentation, and anything else that we promised to deliver you. We will be together for about 1 hour. However, if there are more questions in the end, we will make sure to answer everybody's questions. And please use reactions to help the presenters out. It just show your interest or whether you agree with something or even if you don't agree with something. That's also fine. Let's keep this session interactive. And without further ado, I'll go into our agenda for today. We have a various group of partners in this call. Some are further in the journey, some in the beginning of their path, but basically we all are here to know how to grow faster and deliver more with minimum resources while making your prospects choose you every time. So that's the strategy part that we will start with. The second thing, we will go into the new feature releases of Empowered Business Central and how you can get more customers and win your existing customers' loyalty with them. And our last part, we will be on the live demo of promotions and actions that help your customers actually increase their sales with that feature. And next, I would like to present to you our speakers today. And yes, we have a surprise partner guest, one of the top partners in the Central Eastern Europe, who will be sharing their experience on the strategy and their experience with Empowered Business Central. So I hope you're as excited to hear from them as I am, because they will bring us their real world insights and what their customers are saying. But we also have William van Wordhausen, who has about 10 years in Business Central and who actually was himself a partner. He had a partner business and now he is deep into the Business Central product and Empowered, of course. And we also have Jonas, who is our product manager, who is responsible for Empowered roadmap, developing, testing, feature releases, documentation. Jonas is that person. And we have Bernie, who was also a partner himself and who actually recently, just about 2 weeks ago, got his status on from Microsoft MVP. So congratulations, Bernie, on that. We are very excited to have you all here, and hopefully you will find the session as useful as we prepared it for. But if anything, just drop a question in the chat. And with that, I would like to give a word to William, and William will present us the strategic part on how to grow faster and deliver more with minimum resources while making your prospect choose you every time.
Yep. So thanks, Daria. Indeed, I'm William. Once again, a very warm welcome. I would like to start, of course, with once again a warm welcome to every one of you in this webinar. And of course, you being a Dynamics reseller, you would like to grow, to scale, and to expand, of course. And that comes with challenges like the limited resources, the operational efficiency. Relying too much on custom development can really slow down your progress. And that's not just me thinking about that, right? We have validated a few of the partner challenges the partners are facing in the channel. So if, for example, we speak about capacity to develop new features instead of fully utilizing development capacity on the legacy, right? So I spoke, for example, with one of the product managers from one of the partners, and he shared with me transparently and honestly that, hey, I have a certain development capacity, and I have a backlog of very nice idea to create even more and better features for our specific industry or niche. But my team is fully occupied by my legacy customers on different versions and all the customizations we have created in the past. And all those customizations basically comes the second challenge around capacity is the capacity to maintain all those customizations, which is really a hassle, right? And if we speak about churn, nobody wants to lose customers. And since Business Central is a commodity product, even the local, what I always call modern workplace resellers or the Office 365 resellers are also able to offer Business Central as a CSP product to your customers, and especially in lower end of SMB, where you are the partner for Dynamics and they have a second partner for their more generic IT infrastructure, that can become a serious threat. And of course, last but not least, is the profitability, since Business Central is such a commodity product where Microsoft dictates the end customer retail price, which is publicly available. So you really are forced to come up with additional package solutions and services to create more margin. And speaking again once about that development capacity I mentioned before, we hear that, and not only we from our partners, but also in the formal investigations and researchers, it has shown that the development capacity is utilized for a big chunk of their time to non-distinctive tasks. Well, ideally, once again, remember that example of the product manager I mentioned before. Ideally, you can spend more time on creating distinctive features for your specific niche or industry. And it's good to know that we as Compenio are with you if your goals are about finding strategic opportunities to grow your business, a new, easy to deploy service or products without too much upfront investments or efforts. And if you speak about implementing scalable solutions, it's also good to know that customers nowadays want standard as well, right? And if we speak about delivering projects faster and more efficiently, stick to standard means quicker customer onboarding, and especially with Business Central, with a recurring revenue model with subscriptions, the customer acquisition time is really important. And of course, a very obvious one, I guess every one of you want to stand out from the competition with different offerings. And so the point is, with customizations, you are not too distinctive. I come back to that in a minute. And also, if you would like to maybe discover a second industry next to your niche you're currently working on, it would be very helpful if there would be bundles which makes an easy entry for you possible. And now we come to a very important picture in our opinion and also in our Compenio philosophy. And of course, the statements here are a little bit bold, but we strongly believe in the following: that if you look at the picture, when we speak about Business Central, that's of course a generic layer from the shelf of Microsoft. And on top of that, we all have created, also mentioned in its introduction by Daria, I've done it myself as well. At the time I was a reseller. You always created your own customizations, those generic enhancements to Business Central as a standard product. And on top of that, ideally, you have your specific focus on a niche or industry. Well, all those enhancements, we sometimes call it the gap fillers, to fill the gaps Microsoft is still leaving behind in the product. That's not the area where you are creating distinctive value. So with Compenio, we thought, let us take care of that part with filling in that generic IP. That's why Compenio has launched Empowered Business Central. And now I would like to introduce you to our surprise guest and ask him the first question. So with us today, we have Rafał from the partner NMI, which is a relatively new partner in Poland, founded in 2020. if I'm right, but are among the top partners of us in the CEE region. And Rafael is the business development manager over there. And they have seriously embraced Empowered. So my first question to you, Rafael, could you share your experience with those Empowered bundles containing those obvious features?
Yes, of course. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Daria. Thank you, William, for the invitation. I'm super or surprised partner today, I suppose. My name is Rafael, like William was mentioned, business development manager, working with Companio. I think it will be pretty much 5 years now in the area of Business Central, and also we do support Polish localization by Companio and Poland and for our partners. Yes, like you said, William, about empowered functionalities. I have to say, I absolutely love it. I love what I love the most, and like you said, these functionalities are ready to go. So they're ready to use, they're easy to install. So from our perspective as partners, we don't have to spend much time or additional time with end customers to try to develop new functionalities or spend extra time with them, because as you said, it packaged with Business Central. What I like also, it's single price, so you don't have to mix and match functionalities or customization. So if our end customer would like to pick up the industry or business area that they would like to work with, it's easy with these functionalities. So like I said, from our perspective, partner perspective, we don't have to spend time with our own workshops, and then basically development and our staff costs as well.
Thanks, Rafael. Thanks for elaborating on it. So with that, basically, and that's in describing this message as well, BC resellers, so basically the target audience in this webinar, focusing on a standard offering in a specific industry, will be able to monetize their distinctive IP. Remember the picture I showed you before. If you are not spending too much time on the generic enhancements, but really on what makes you standing out from competition, that's where you can then become a future-ready partner, right? With spending less time on maintenance, because if you have less customizations, there is less to spend time on in terms of maintenance. Partners who are fully utilizing the knowledge and products from the community. And with a standard approach, of course, you will have faster time to markets. And speaking about faster time to markets, Rafael, how can those industry bundles help you entering new markets, for example?
Well, technically, with these functionalities, we can enter into new markets and we can enter into new industries from our perspective as well. And it's easy because we don't have to increasing staff or other costs, development costs. So even if our new customers are from different industry that we usually support, with the empowered functionalities, it's not a problem. So if it's a service, we can go with a professional service bundle. If it's anything with inventory, and then this is from our experience, we can go with the whole wholesale distribution. So it's really easy to start new markets or new industries.
It's basically giving you a head start, right? If you would
Exactly.
like to, yeah. Cool. Thanks, Rafa, once again. So with Empowered, and I suppose that for most of you, Empowered is not completely new, and we will dive into what's new in a minute from now. But with Empowered, we have created a community crafted and maintained by Companio version of Business Central, which is, like Rafa already explained as well, easy deployable, and with that, you're able to free up your development capacity and to create even more distinctive features and accelerate growth with that. And with that, I also have my last question to Rafael before we hand it over to Jonas to talk about what's new in the latest release of Empowered. So last question, Rafael, you have experienced yourself that Empowered Business Central is not just a, how should I call it, not just a static bundle, right?
Yes. Well, as we all know, and then today I think it's going to be mentioned about that the empowered functionalities are life itself, so they ongoing growth, which means that it's of course out of the box solution, which is great, but it's still open. So based on customers, our end customers, feedback, which I like the most because that's the people that they are really working with the system. You know, we are very good specialists. But the best feedbacks you will always have from end user customers because they are working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with this system. So I think that's the most valuable person to give you thoughts about what is actually missing in Business Central Standard or where we can find any gaps to fill them in. For example, with empowered solution. But I'm always saying to our customers that this bundle, if you're gonna have it, if you're gonna add it to your Business Central, they still kind of live. So the companion based on our feedback as a partners, and then what is most important on the end users feedback, they are adding different features on and on.
Yeah. Thanks, Rafael, because since we as Companio don't have direct contact to end customers, we need to rely on the partners, so on you. And also a short side note on that is that we have a very mature partner feedback portal nowadays where those partners can submit your feedback, your ideas, and it's completely transparent and open for everyone to see what's happening with your ideas and submissions, etc. So once again, Rafael, many thanks for having you in this webinar as well. And with that, I would love to hand it over to Jonas.
Brilliant. Thank you, William. Thank you, Rafael. And I would first and foremost like to reflect on the words that Rafael has said, is that basically the feedback from end users is golden. Since we don't work with them, as William noticed, the feedback from our partners is golden. And the next few slides that I'm going to talk about, I'm very happy to see that some of the familiar names are in attendance. So you may find some of these changes were originally coming from you, and we talked with you as the partners to implement those. So starting off with what's new, I would like to first introduce the item condition model, which is a change in the promotions and actions module co-designed together with our partner from Mid-Europe in terms of making the promotion setup a lot more flexible, a lot simpler, and a lot more nicer in the user experience perspective. However, this has introduced the first challenge we have encountered with Empower thus far. The first major challenge that we want to resolve is basically granting the partner community and the empowered partners control over how new features are introduced. We perfectly understand that we are not completely in sync with your daily operations. We do want to move forward, and thus we need to find a way to kind of collaborate with you. Yeah, so basically to just return to the point is that basically feature management is designed to allow partners to control any major changes that we do within Empowered and release them when the partner and the customer are ready. We are targeting to follow the Microsoft depreciation policies of at minimum keeping 6 months the functionalities, but the goal is that we will iteratively evolve and thus also provide you the tools to control that evolution within your customers. The next one is the expansion of the quality control module. We have worked quite a bit over the summer period to improve on this module. It is one of the most featurist modules within Empowered, but nevertheless, there was a lot of partner feedback we have received, especially from the Nordics region, with whose help we managed to introduce support for such for sales returns orders, for per location document creation, new specification templates, and etc. And there's a couple more new features I'd like to talk about, Daria, if you could. Yeah. So there is also some very new features which you are unlikely to have seen if you follow our release notes. First of those is the integration between cash register and promotions and actions module. We have heard that from our South European partners that they would like to have the promotions and actions active at the point of sale systems, and that has been released. And the last point is that there have been quite a few more minor feature changes that we've received from the partners and have been able to implement them up until this point. But then let's talk about a little bit more about what's improved in general, because the new features are new features, and there's quite a few of those. So first and foremost, our newly established release cadence that we target as Companion for empowered releases is monthly. So the idea is that basically the partners receive the latest and the greatest very quickly and hopefully very, very often. Of course, you still control the update schedule, except for when Microsoft enforces the Business Central updates and the associated extensions. But our target is to basically deliver them monthly, and monthly to include also new feature releases. And as we are trying to keep up with the cadence, the latest release just went live yesterday. You have not yet even received the notifications, except for those who have submitted some of the feedback requests. The early birds do get the early bird advantages of finding out as soon as those are live for the testing. And the latest release focused on advanced costing, continuous cash register improvements, a complaint management module, and the lifecycle management modules. Right, and this is once again returning to the point on the empowered feature management, which Bernie will also demo for you, that the intent is that as we keep accelerating, and we intend to keep accelerating, the partners still have the full control of what happens at the end users' screens. And lastly, but not least for what's improved, the updated installation guide has all the information on basically how to install, how to update, how to control the update settings within Business Central to ensure that the partners are fully in control of this. And then moving on to what we are also working on improving is that there's a better partner experience and clarity on what's happening. So with each release, we are now targeting to provide the full user documentation in various areas, either per module basis user manuals, or for example, as some of you may have seen with the feature management, independent instructions on how to control particular functionalities that are controlled with the admin permissions. And all of that is available within the Companion partner portal. And the second item that we are targeting is the partner notifications. Once again, as hopefully most of you have received it thus far, both the transacting and the testing partners are receiving email notifications with the summaries on what the changes are, but our release notes provide you the full extent on all changes associated with Empowered. And then if we move on to the last what's improved slide, and this is kind of a big one. This is what we've been working on for the past half a year primarily, is that we have collected quite a bit of feedback on basically the performance, the quality, the associated materials with Empowered, and the ask to deliver more, to enable the partners to work with the solution a little bit better. And with that in mind, we have worked very hard to do significant technical redesigns. And as of yesterday's release, 4 out of our modules are fully completed with the redesigns. We are very prepared to help out partners with both adopting it and extending it through the event publishers. And what's not public has just become public is kind of our target for the advanced costing module, which we would like to deliver fully reworked with the next release. And together with those technical revisions, we are committed to delivering the fully updated user manuals for both use with the partners and for the end users. And now, lastly, probably the most important part from my side, to be honest, is how can you and the partner community help us out and influence the future of where Empower goes. So first and foremost, for those that don't have it, get the free reseller license. It's a free trial for the partner use. Reach out to us, anyone on the Empowered team, anyone presenting here, and we will make sure to hook you up. The second item is being the part of this community. So we have seen quite a bit success on basically partner interactions through our feedback form. As most of you are in the software development businesses, you know that emails have the tendency to get lost, but agile sprints and Kanban boards are forever. So all of your feedback that you would submit us through the portal does land directly with the team, and we will make sure to reach out to you to investigate your propositions and see what can be done and can be implemented. And then the last item, which we encourage, and we have now delivered for a couple of partners in recent times, is to extend Empower through the event publishers. So we would like to enable the partners to continue working and improving on Empowered and adopting it to every particular case of customer that you may have. Thus, we do support partner requests for developing and implementing event publishers based on which you can continue to work. And basically on the right, you can see the QR code or the link. And once you receive the resources, we do highly encourage you to reach out to us and let us hear your thoughts. And now with that, without further ado, I do wish to transfer to Bernie, our recently announced MVP and the master of all things Empowered, to be honest, to showcase you how the feature management and the promotions and actions change works. Bernie, please take it away.
Good. So let me take over the screen. Let me know if you're not seeing my screen over there, and let's have a look at what's new in our new Empowered version. So I just want to show you guys over here that the environment that I'm using over here, if you do go into the admin center, you go into your apps over there. The release that I'm going to be demoing today is not the latest release of Empowered, so it's not the one from yesterday. You'll see over there that Empowered Business Central, I'm doing the 2.19 release, and yesterday we had the 2.20 release, so I haven't yet updated to that, and I didn't want to update to that one just before we started the demo. I only realized that that wasn't installed just before the time. So but that's basically where you go and see as well. So if you're not on the latest version, you'd like to update to the latest version, that's where you go as well. You'll see over there right next to the version number, you can see which one you're currently on, which is the latest one that's available, and you can click on install update over there just to install the update to get up onto the latest one. And then of course the release notes will tell you what is new in each version of that one. And then yes, it did say, well, hi William, not hello Bernie. This is a demo environment from William that I've hijacked, so that's why it says William and not Bernie over there. But here we go, we've got the latest version of Empowered over here, and like we've mentioned, so what Microsoft basically does is if there's any changes to the user interface, any data changes, anything that changes how the user interacts with the system or how the system actually functions, Microsoft does not automatically, when you upgrade to a later version, make that feature available. That feature actually just goes through the Microsoft feature management. So if we go over here into feature management over here, and we have a look here, we can see the different features and we can decide to activate the different features in here. Unfortunately, this is not extensible. So in other words, we can't add our features into this. You might have noticed, for instance, that Microsoft puts even features that doesn't apply to your country version, they put into this. So they have a very specific view about how they want to use this and what they want to use this for. So that's why one of the reasons they actually didn't make this extensible. So that meant that for Empowered, if we want to release features that's actually going to change the way in which things work, what we had to do was we had to actually bring out our own feature management. So if you go and search for Empowered Feature Management, you will now find Empowered Feature Management in there, and you'll see over there that it will be automatically enabled from April 2026. There is the item condition, so it's for the promotions and actions feature, and you'll see that it's not enabled at the moment, and there's just an enable feature at the top over there that you can actually use to enable it. But before I enable it, let's actually just go over here. I want to show you that in my module configuration over here, the promotions and actions feature over there, you'll see that that is actually activated at the moment. It's the only feature that I've got activated. So let's jump into the promotions and actions, and let's have a look at our promotions list. And let's open one of the promotions in here. I just want to show you guys basically what this is going to do is you'll see over here that we have items and conditions as two separate windows in here. And one of the problems that we faced was a customer that wanted to upgrade was unable to do certain types of promotions due to some limitations that we had in here. So what we did was we upgraded this to enable different types of promotions to be able to be run through this. And what we've done is we've taken the item and the conditions over here and we've combined those two together into one section. So very important is that if you do go to the, and for this specific environment, what I've done is in the empowered feature management, I specifically not enabled this so I can show you the process. So if you just highlight it, you say enable the feature, you will get a nice long message over there. We strongly recommend for you to first enable this feature in a sandbox environment. So copy your production environment to a sandbox, enable it in the sandbox, test that your prices, etc., is still working in there. Same type of procedure that you would follow with any of the standard Microsoft feature management updates. And once you're ready and you want to enable this feature in your production environment, you just hit the yes button and you'll see over there migration completed successfully, and 7 conditions was actually migrated successfully. So what it will actually do is if you do have any existing promotions set up, it will upgrade your existing promotions, because remember, we won't, with any of the features, introduce anything that will take away any of the functionality that you've got. So even with the new functionality enabled, you'll still be able to run the same promotions as what you did in the past. So we've already taken all the data over here, we've migrated it in a way so that it works with the new promotions and actions. So what I've done is I've already in a different environment over here, I've set up 3 different promotions over here to sort of showcase to you what our new features can actually do. So if I open our first promotion over here, so just for those of you who haven't seen the promotions and actions yet, the promotions and actions is actually designed for you to be able to run promotions that you won't be able to run with the standard Business Central pricing mechanism. So if you have buy 3 bottles of wine and we will give you a free wine opener. Buy 3 bottles of standard wine and we'll promote 1 to a premium wine. Any of those types of promotions, buy any 5 Cadbury's chocolates and we'll give you the cheapest one for free. Those types of promotions you can't run with standard Business Central at the moment. So this is designed so that you'll be able, and this is more your retail type of promotions, like I don't know in all countries, but here in South Africa, when you stop at the garage and you have the little convenience store over there, they have hundreds of these types of promotions usually. So let's have a look at the first promotion over here. So like normal in the general tab over there, I have a promotion number and a description. Then I'll say from this date to this date. The status at the moment is draft because I'm just busy editing this. And then you can also say single or multiple promotions should be applied. So if I have buy 3 bottles of wine and get a wine opener for free, I can say I want to apply this promotion single. So in other words, if you buy 3 or 6 bottles of wine, you still only get 1 bottle opener. And if I say multiple, then for every 3 you buy, you get a free bottle opener. Then over here you have your customers. This is where you can select your customers. So for this promotion, I've specifically said you can run this for all customers. So this is a promotion that's available to all of our customers. And now you'll see over here I've got my item conditions over here, where we can then go and say what are the conditions that needs to be met in terms of the items that needs to be purchased for this promotion to apply. So for this specific one, you'll see that I've got a condition number over there. The first one is selected as a group, meaning that from here on onwards, all of the ones that I create underneath this is part of condition number 1. You'll see I've got the Athens desk, the Antwerp conference table, and any desk accessories in here. And then what I've said over here is I've said, if you buy a minimum quantity of 10, so you need to buy 10 items and they need to be either a desk, a conference table, or any desk accessories. So if you buy 10 desk accessories, you'll still actually qualify for this specific promotion. I've only specified the quantity and the unit to measure over there, so I've only specified 10 pieces. And then if we go down to the bottom over here, you'll see that under the promotion type, I've said then give a 10% discount. So in other words, if you buy any 10 desk or desk accessories, you will get 10% discount. And that's what this promotion will do. So let's have a look at the second one. So for the second promotion over here, if we look at promotion number 2, same thing over there. But what I've done over here is I've specified that I specifically want to run this only on a specific customer. I could have specified a customer price group or a customer discount group as well. But I've said on this item, if customer 10,000 buys a Paris guest chair, and either one of these two conditions are met, either he buys 10 items or he buys for a minimum of $1,000. So either one of these two conditions needs to be met. And this is something that wasn't possible in the previous promotions and actions. You couldn't specify a minimum quantity and a minimum amount. And if it met any of the two conditions, the promotion would apply. So this is specifically one of the major changes that we've made with this one, so that you could specify either a quantity or a minimum amount. In the previous one, you could either specify the quantity or the amount, but you couldn't specify the both for the same promotion. And then what I'm saying at the bottom over here is I'm saying add a Athens mobile pedestal for free, a quantity of 1. So in other words, this promotion is specifically for customer 10,000. If you buy the Athens guest chair, you buy either 10 or for a minimum of $1,000, then you get the mobile pedestal added to your order for free. And let's just look at the last promotion over here. And what we've done over here is I've created 2 groups over here. So you'll see in this promotion, we've said, once again, apply this promotion to all customers. We've said that the combination is mandatory. So in other words, we have multiple groups over here. You'll see condition 1 and condition 2. Condition 2 is a group. So in other words, if you buy the Amsterdam lamp, together with conference bundle 1.8 or 1.6, so 1.8 is 1 desk, 8 chairs, or 1 desk, 6 chairs. So if you buy the lamp together with either one of these 2 bundles, minimum quantity of 1, then what we'll do is we'll give you the lowest priced item for free, and the lowest priced item is obviously the Amsterdam lamp. So in other words, basically, if you buy the lamp and the any one of our 2 conference bundles, we'll give you the lamp for free. Okay, so these are the types of promotions that you can run with this. This is how you can set them up, and this is how the new promotions and actions will actually work, combining the item and the conditions together over here. There is a lot of information in the release notes as well as in the user manual available for this. So if you need any more information, of course, you're more than welcome to reach out to me as well to get any more information over there. Let's see, that's it from me.
Thank you, Bernie, so much for sharing with us how our partners' customers can increase their sales in return. So it's a win-win situation. I would like to open the questions right now for any questions. We've talked about the strategy of how to win more customers, how to increase loyalty of the customers. We had Rafal from the Central Eastern Europe present and share his experience. And I would really like to encourage everybody right now, think what questions you might have about the strategy or new feature releases, the roadmap that we have, anything, maybe promotions and actions that Bernie just presented. Let me get to the slide with the questions. So yeah, let's give a couple of minutes. You can unmute yourself, raise a hand. You can drop a question in the chat, whichever way you prefer. And while we wait, Rafal, we have a question from Mon.
Yeah, thank you, Daria. So I see that you had, you mentioned something about a reseller program. We're a Canadian and the US partner, and we currently have our portal to or access to Empowered through the Companion Canadian part. But we were hoping that we also can sell the Empowered apps to our US customers. does that happen through your reseller channel?
William, I will direct that question to you.
Yeah, I can take that one. And man, I'm also very happy to have an offline one-on-one on this, because this is a very specific one, but just to get it out of the way. Since Empowered is a Companional exclusive, so it's only for Companional partners, it can only be sold to 2 Companional partners. And we have Companional partners everywhere in Europe, more or less, plus Canada, but not in the US. And that has to do with a Microsoft territory agreement, so to say. So we are not able, simply technically not able, to sell Business Central to US customers. And US customers then defined as the Office tenant, so their Azure tenant is a US based tenant, then that's simply a technically no-go. But there are, as always, there are workarounds to do it through Canadian channels, etc. So I'm happy to have a one-on-one man with you to discuss the options, but probably also together with JR, and then we can try to see how we can help you out, man. Does that answer the question for now?
That answers the question. Thank you, William.
Would you like to have a discussion with William offline of this call?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. Anybody else can raise your hand or drop a question in the chat. And while we are waiting, Rafal, can I bother you with my questions on your customers and how it was like selling Empowered to them?
Of course you can. I mean, as I mentioned before, what we really like is, from my perspective, is that I don't have to bother any of my colleagues. I can go myself because and then present all the Empowered solution, because it's technically easy. It's everything. It's on the table. All you have to do is you have to only pick them up. So there is no problem with presentation. There's no problem with instructions, you know. So we are, as a partners, we have a lot of customers' feedbacks that they would like to do some customization, obviously. And then if we would like to do so, we have to go and spend extra time. We have to contact with the client, yes, to run some workshop and see what are their needs. We have to see how to develop their needs, or just to spend extra time internally as well to put estimate and basically costs. With Empowered, we don't have to do anything of any of these, because everything it's on the table. It's kind of one price, so you don't have to mix and match them. So it really depends on a business area that our end customer is in it. We can show them all packages, or we can show them the packages that they are really focused on their area. So I found it really good, and it's really easy, if I can say it.
Thank you for sharing that, Rafal. I think you made Jonas very happy that it's easy with all the documentation.
Okay.
As well. You spend a lot of time doing that.
It's really good. It's really good, Jonas. And as you said at the very beginning, the feedback is gold, because, like you said, so the Companional are supporting us, but they don't have the direct contact with end customer, because it's basically impossible. It's just too many of queries and too many of end customers. But we, as a partner of Companional, from our perspective, it's if I can repeat it easily as well. What do we like the most? And then I didn't mention that before. I think I can always add that functionalities are tested, and this is brilliant. This is what our customer like as well, because you know, sometimes when you deploy or you try to test something on, obviously, a sandbox or etc., you always have additional time to test it when these functionalities are tested. So I like my answers and my question and their question is they're tested already. Everything is tested. So this is another goal as well, Jonas.
Thank you, Rafal. I believe the team will receive the kudos for this. I will share within the recording.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions? I don't see anything in the chat, but if anybody wants to raise their hands, unmute themselves, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah, and otherwise, of course, also, if you would like to have a one-on-one discussion, for example, just like Man would like to have, simply reach out to me or to your PSM, and then we are happy to arrange something. So if there are no questions for now, Daria, I think we can wrap it up.
Awesome. And William, then can you please drop your email address in the chat so that people we can reach out to? Then I would like to thank everybody. We finished early, even though we thought we would take longer, but thank you everybody for joining us. It was great to have you. Again, if you have any questions, any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to us. And a huge thank you, Rafal, to you. It was great to hear your perspective as a partner. Like you mentioned that we don't get into any contact with your customers, so we rely on you and your expertise there. So thank you so much.